Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Playing for Set Pieces. We're of course with Esbjerg FB in the Superliga, the Danish Superliga in fact. It's not been that long since you last saw us. I think, yeah, there you go. It was the miserable result against AC Horsens. Well, it's not been too bad. We've only had a couple of games since then, but they've been kind of standout. I mean, one of the things I talked about in the last video was the fact that we weren't creating set-piece chances, or, we hadn't scored from corners, we hadn't done, not going the way I wanted it to, and part of that I felt was the tactics. For example, we were playing a little bit better when I didn't have it playing for set-pieces, and obviously I like to play a sort of pressing, counter-attack type game, and it doesn't really seem to fit, so I've made some changes. I mean, I say it doesn't seem to fit. Doesn't just not fit with the whole playing for set pieces thing thus far, and yes, I realised that I've only got to work with what I've got, but I don't know, the style of play doesn't suit creating good opportunities, I guess, for set pieces. So all in all, it hasn't been great. So what I've actually done, and I'll get into the results, is I've changed the tactics a little bit. Obviously, we were playing with this, and now we're playing with this, and most of the reason being is because a lot of my central defenders are actually defensive midfielders too. And in many cases prefer to be defensive midfielders than central defenders. So where I felt like we were a bit weak in defence and constantly getting sort of caught out, this, over the 2 games that we've used it, has seemed to sort of put a stop to that. But basically I am playing a possession style of football as opposed to a counter-attacking style of football, and obviously we're keeping the pace slow as well. I'm favouring the lower defensive line just because, well, Austin as a prime example, as one of my centre backs, has got a pace of 4 and acceleration of 4, so he's not catching anyone. I do normally play him as a stopper because it's not the end of the world if he gets forward and stops someone. It's just when somebody runs past him, he's done. But outside of that, I think it's Halsty is also a bit on the slow side, 7 and 6. So, yeah, another good reason to have a lower line, and obviously to have a couple of more defensive midfielders in there. If you notice, I'm not actually playing with a playmaker at the moment, and the reason being is a recent video I watched suggests that actually encourages the players to use the wings a bit more if you don't have a playmaker in the centre. So, going to try that out and see how that goes. It feels alien to maybe not have a playmaker in here, but that being said, where I have this guy on box-to-box midfield and have him sort of getting further forward in, because that's the other thing I've done, of course, is set up individual instructions a little bit. I am not moving him into channels, but I am mainly because I want him to, close people down in the final third as well. But I want him to get further forward, and like I say, it seems to be working all right. If I go back to the schedule, first game we tried out in, and bearing in mind there are a couple of little tweaks since then, was against Sonderjysk, sorry, and it was a 0-0 draw. They were a stronger team than us and were certainly pushing us a little bit harder. But as you can see, we managed 10 shots on target. Sorry, 7 shots with... crikey. 10 shots with 7 on target. A lot of fouls, but that's fine. We had slightly better possession, which was also good. But I liked the fact that we weren't doing stupid number of shots and none on target. I mean, if we compare that to, for example, the AC Horsens game, I mean, they had 17 shots with 7 on target. We had 15 and 5. 1 in 3 was on target, and we lost 4-1. Not fantastic. Same number of fouls there as well. The Frem game, was that the same? We had a stupid number of shots. Yeah. We had 15 with only 9 on. That's actually not too bad. I feel like anything that's, as long as the shot on target shots are less than half of your shots, I'm okay with that. But there have been, I'm now looking for the ones where we've had lots of shots, and yeah, 11 and 5, that's not too bad. They had 19 and 8, but as you can see, they made them count, which we didn't. So the other part of the tactics, of course, is to stop people taking quite so many shots at us. As you can see, we have conceded a few goals. Well, since there anyway, we've conceded a few, and obviously AC Horsens considering where they are as well. That was a hammering we took. But anyway, so you saw the result for there. This is the one that was really exciting, which is the FC Copenhagen game, because they are top of the league. And they have only lost 3 games, of which one of those was us. Prior to that, I think, was Brøndby. As you know, Brøndby have had the resurgence after that horrible, horrible start they have and sit in 4th now. We're down to 9th, but as you can see, it's pretty close between sort of 5th place and 9th. Well, even 10th, really. So, but yeah, to beat Copenhagen, who've had, they've basically been rooted to the top. The interesting thing is, as well, and part of the reason why I'm showing this is we're going to have a quick look at the goals. You'll notice the second goal that happened in the 93rd minute, which is kind of unfortunate for these guys. I mean, Copenhagen equalised in the 87th, and I was annoyed because I figured that would be 1-1, but then we came back in the 93rd. But the exciting thing is this is the first goal. Korko finds Aniembe, and Roykjaer jumps on the rebound from the keeper. Lovely, lovely goal. Now this is Santos coming forward for Copenhagen, and yeah, lovely work. Lovely, well-crafted goal from them. But here we are, look. That's our first corner goal of the season. That's how exciting that is. And in fact, if we go to the competitions, look at the Superliga, and then look at the team detailed. And roll on down to, there we go, goals, no. Goals from corners, 5 teams are on 4. Not us, we're on 1. But we've made it on. We've now got a goal from a corner. The other part of that, of course, was the fact that I'll show you. We'll finish with this first, though. Goals from direct free kicks, we still don't have any. And goals from indirect free kicks, we have 3. But we are some distance behind Midtjylland, who, of course, we are playing next. Pass completion ratio, we're 3rd behind Copenhagen and Midtjylland. Copenhagen, of course, we just beat. And Midtjylland, we're just about to beat. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm curious to see shots on target. We're 3rd with our shots on target ratio of 45%. That surprises me. It also kind of shows how bad everybody else is doing, but it surprises me. So, in fact, they've had the most shots on target. We're down to 8th for that, which is 112. Wow. Okay, well, one thing I didn't actually look at is the cup. I realise I'm only looking in the Superliga here. If we actually look in the Euro Cup as to team detailed, how we did. Form. Attacking, where are we? Corners. We didn't get any. We are not on the list by the looks of things. There we are. Second from bottom after above Dundalk. Goals from free kicks was 3. Oh look, we're not one of them again. Surprise, surprise. Goals from indirect free kicks. We've got 2 in the Euros. That's all right. That's something. Still not living up to our potential, I guess, but hopefully that will now change with this new set of tactics. So, like I said, FC Midtjylland is our next game. They are in fact 2nd in the Superliga behind Copenhagen, but literally, 2 points behind them? 3 points, sorry. So, depending on what happens today, they might even go top. Or Copenhagen might stay top. We'll see. Okay, something I wanted to have just a very, very quick chat about. As I mentioned, I have made some choices to our corners. I initially had 2 setups. I can't remember if I showed them or not. One which was a mixed delivery, and then I'd set people up in the relevant places I thought were a good idea in other, in order to score. And I had a short option, much like this, though. These guys were, some were marking a post, some were marking a keeper, and all the rest of it. But instead, I've gone for 3 specific tactics. I'm going for a far post to try and hit Yakovenko. The short, as I mentioned. And I'm trying to have these guys in the middle rather than right up against the post, because that didn't seem to be too fruitful. But there's also, instead of mixed, I'm having an edge of area one, because we do have a couple of players who are not bad at scoring from distance, or at least certainly attempt to. So going to try and see how these things go. Obviously, set up for both left and right too. Like I say, got to say, corner, our first corner goal of the season, and I think that was the edge of area one, to be fair, because I'm sure that it was whomever was running in got on the end of the header, so it was a very, very, very good corner goal, I guess. So we shall hopefully see if this improves things. I have set things up for free kicks as well, both defensively and attacking. But what I'm doing is I'm trying a few things out. Is that the direct one, the indirect one? There we go. I've got different versions of the indirect one. In fact, I've got 3. Which are just very slightly different. Again, going to see how they get on, see how they manage. Because, like I say, this is obviously supposed to be our philosophy. And playing around with them. Indirectly, we've not done too bad. That's the indirect wide, and that's the indirect deep. They're much of a muchness to the standard editions. I've just tried to put the right people in the right places, but I will be playing around with those a little bit. I did have a slightly different direct attacking one, which didn't have anybody on the outside here, which I think looking at edged area is actually quite an important thing. So, and if you have anybody marking the posts here, they don't put defenders back. So if you hoof it over to them and they head it in, it's already offside because they start offside. So the defensive, and I'm just going to show you. Where are we? Corners. Sorry, we'll start with the defensive. So there's a blog that this setup comes from. I have tweeted about it recently and before. It's from FM blog. FootballManagerblog.org, and it is the article is defensive corner setup breaking from corners. I'm not going to explain it to you. It's better that you actually read the blog and see what he says, because he talks about the best players to have in these positions and why, and what attributes you should be looking for. And obviously at the moment I've got what I've got and I'm working with that, but it's doing all right for us. I'm very happy with it, which is important. But what I've also done is used the same principles when creating the free kick defense as well. Admittedly, I'm trying it on the direct first, and I'm going to be put it on the indirect later. I mean, the interesting thing is the indirect wide, you've got people covering the 6-yard box, not the 6-yard box, you know what I mean, right in front of the keeper there. And then you've got on the deep, nobody's right in front of the keeper, but they all go back. So this needs to change in some ways to man mark and stuff like that. And I'd be tempted to put more people out on the edge of the area. Apparently we don't need a wall for this one though. So, but like I say, I'm doing it a bit at a time, just to see how it goes. Because again, this principle might not work for free kicks in the same way as it does for corners. But I'm looking to try and achieve the same thing, which is the the potential to break away from it, even though I don't have even though I'm not playing a counter-attack style anymore, the fact that, you can still break from that and create goals and all the rest of it is a really, really good idea, because the sort of standard defensive setups on both free kicks and corners really, they might try and stop the ball going in, but there's not a lot of regaining possession and doing anything with it unless the other team makes a mistake or it's just a bad corner and all the rest of it. But having players, especially when you look at, if you go back to the corners one, I was already playing somebody closing down a corner taker because, especially during FM19, there was a lot of crosses rebounded back to out here, and your corner taker was there, available to come and pop them back in again and get another cross and, quite often score from it. So by having a guy to close him down there, we were actually, fairly well placed to produce a counter-attack from there. It hasn't happened as much in FM20, or at least I haven't seen it happen as much yet, but when you consider how many hours I spent on FM19 compared to how many I've spent on FM20 so far, probably not too surprising. But nevertheless, I'm very keen to continue with this style because, like I say, it does seem to work. The only thing that slightly concerns me with the free kicks is sometimes, obviously, they'll put a lot of players forward, which leaves us, if we haven't got enough people actually doing marking duties in the box, that there'll be more of them than there are us, and that's not good. So, Like I say, it's a work in progress, but I'm very, very happy that we've actually finally scored our first competitive corner. And like I say, I do put it down to the changes I've made. Just taking a second back at the tactics before we go in. One of the things that I'm always fairly keen to pay attention to is the tactical familiarity. And in fact, yeah, I'm already set that as primary trained tactics. As you can see, most people are pretty good with their role and whatnot within the tactics. They're not great with the passing and the tempo because, of course, I've been doing faster and more direct. And, of course, now I'm going shorter and slightly lower tempo. So, I mean, there are improvements there, as you can see with this guy. Yeah. Improvements in passing style is now competent. But, obviously, where I've altered this central midfield area, we've now got a slight bit of catching up to do with tactical familiarity, but I'm not too upset. Like I say, I'm very pleased that everybody else is pretty much happy with their role, and it does tend to help us play a little bit better. One of the mistakes I made in Everton's first season was I kept chopping and changing the tactics, trying to get a winning formula, whilst not paying attention to the tactical familiarity. And of course, you know, players play better when they're familiar with the tactics. It's just that simple. Just before we get into the game, one of the things I also wanted to just quickly go through with you is the club vision. We've done pretty good. Yeah, develop players using the club's youth system. It's too early to tell. I haven't really done much myself. There are players in the development centre. There's one or two we've given games to, but it's not... You know what I mean? It's well, they say themselves, look, we think it's too early to judge whether you are giving the youth a chance or not. It is too early. However, in terms of the 5-year plan, the ongoing stuff work within the wage budget. It says I'm on course, but I am slightly over the wage budget, which is unfortunate. I'm like £2,500, well, £2,000, call it over it, which is a bit naughty, really. We passed our Euro Cup, reached third qualifying round minimum, which is fantastic. Mid-table, they say they're pleased. We have dropped slightly below what I would call mid-table, but I'm not overly concerned about that. We've just had a tough run of games. And the quarter-final of the Cup, they want us to reach the quarter-final. Well, we're still in it, so that's important. So it's just really a matter of moving forward. So yeah, we're very much on target of that. I mean, in terms of our performance, we've got a B-, or I have a B-, which I'm quite happy with, quite pleased with that. And obviously, they're very happy with the FC Copenhagen game. But disappointed about the game against Midtjylland, so... What are you going to do? And yeah, Austin's recent performances have been a bit disappointing, but he's desperately on the list and nobody wants him. He's on the list not just because I want him, you know, want his wage off the budget, but more importantly because he's not going to get another work permit at the end of this, I don't think. So, and I don't think he's got that many playing years left in him. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got fabulous mentals, but, you know, bearing in mind he's primarily been a centre-half, he's too slow for that, unfortunately. So, like I say, his days at the club are unfortunately numbered. Guide, it's time for Esbjerg at home to Midtjylland. Midtjylland, of course, second place and a very, very strong side. In goal, we have Højbjerg, a back four of Lauritsen, Tranberg, Halsti and Anayembe. Defensive midfield, Sorensen and Kauko. Central midfield, Paranashvili. Left wing, Roykjaer. Right wing, Paveda. And up front, it is Yakovenko. Back from injury. Very happy about that. Yeah, playing as a target man on support for 2 inside forwards is definitely working, so I'm going to keep it going as is. Off to the dressing room. Klaus Norgard says, I think we should try and encourage the team. I think you're right. We might owe FC Midtjylland after last match, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm going to tell you to enjoy yourselves. Let's go. Let's be passionate about that. No. Let's be assertive. Go out there and enjoy yourselves. Well, Paveda was happy, so that's good. I'll let the assistant have his word, and he's got nothing. That's also good. Instructions are currently set for 1 FC Midtjylland player. Yeah, Klaus already handles that, so I don't need to do anything. Okay, it is kick-off time. Esbjerg, of course, in the blue and white striped top with the blue shorts and the white back by the looks of things and the white socks. And Midtjylland are in the black. Wow, 1 minute. I do miss the kickoff not being full match. So, Vander coming forward for Midtjylland already. Looking to get a cross in. It's raining in Esbjerg. No, come on, boys. We're on defensive. Oh, good clearance. Paveda, he's on the ball. He hasn't got a lot of support around him. He's got 3 Midtjylland players, though. And he still made it to the head of the box and forced a corner. So let's see if our corner tactic will work this early on. It's going to be a shorty. Lauritsen, oh no. Tries for a longer one. Tramberg picks up the loose ball. Halsti. Lauritsen again. Trying to find a cross. Paranashvili. Oh my goodness. That could have been exciting. That could have been a goal there. We got another corner. Lauritsen to take it. Oh, Yankovenko was there. It's the far post. Halsti. Lauritsen again. Tramberg. No. Well, that looked a bit better. I'm not upset with that. That looked like we were, Anyway, it's a throw-in now for Esbjerg. Lauritsen, Yakovenko, Paranashvili, Yakovenko. Come on, Sorensen, looking to find someone. Kauko. I'm glad you're keeping possession, boys, but let's stop walking back towards where our goal is and get more towards theirs is. Come on, Kauko. Paranashvili. Paveda. Aniembe. Is he going to go past his man? No, Anderson stops him. I do like Aniembe on a good day, but the poor old bugger struggles with consistency, I think. Midtjylland now moving forward slowly. On the advice of my assistant manager, we did the stay on feet business, but let's leave it like that. I don't mind us getting stuck in. Although we're not doing. Oh my goodness, Anderson. Is that a foul? Well, yeah. Free kick, Evander to take it for Midtjylland. Anderson now. Oh, and Paveda takes it off him. And he's looking to start a counter-attack. Oh, and he's taken down. Oh dear. That young man just got a... Alexander Schultz just got his 3rd yellow card. Lauritsen with the free kick. Raining again. Oh, nobody could get on the end of that. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on to key highlights because we are not looking bad. We are not looking bad. Let's get creative. See how that goes for us. Still only 1 shot on. I am going to move from defensive to cautious though. Throw in for Esbjerg. Lauritsen with a ball forward. Paranashvili's there. 1-on-1. Oh, and he didn't get it. But off the keeper we got a throw in, which we're not going to see. I like to mention that, you've seen what we've done so far, and that's against Midtjylland. Top team. Sorry, 2nd place team, but, one of the top Danish teams. Paveda's picked up a knock. He's only down as far as 80%. I'm going to let him play on for a bit. Paulino's picked up a knock. What side's he on? Left. There, left. So my right. All right, Højbjerg. Tramberg. Lauritsen now. Paranashvili. Progressing forward, Kauko. Doesn't want to move, Sorensen. Go on, boys. Okay, Lauritsen again. It's very slow. Come on, boys. Roykia. Ball over for Paveda. He's 1-on-1 and oh my goodness, I thought that was going in. I do feel like we've been the better team. Another throw in for Esbjerg. Well, flick on for nobody, I guess. And Midtjylland now looking to start their comeback. Playing a bit more direct now. Anderson's out wide. Oh, good God, Aniembe. Oh, my goodness. That was a missed tackle from Aniembe. Let that happen. Oh, mate. I really thought the right back I might be alright and I might be able to just stick with Aniembe, but this is, that's it. Not strong enough, not skilled enough, whatever it is. Beautiful goal from Evander. Good for you, mate. It doesn't really help us now. I'm going to go attack him for a minute and just see what happens. Nothing, because it's half time. Well, we've had 7 shots and 3 on target to their 7 and 2, but of course they've scored 1 and we haven't, so And they've also had the much better possession. Their possession tactic is more effective than my possession tactic as far as the possession element is concerned. Let's go to the dressing room. Well, you say it was disappointed. I didn't think they were that bad, but numbers notwithstanding. So show me something else in the second half. And Pavader's going to have to come off, unfortunately, because he is down below 60% now. So it's obviously a bit of a knock for him. But who do we bring on? That's the only other issue. Because I'm a wee bit short on wingers at the moment. What's Dowda want to do? Does he want to go up front and let Yakovenko go out right? Could do. We'll have him as an advanced forward though on attack. Yakovenko is right-footed, so I'm maybe not playing him on the right side. There we go. No, that's no better, is it? It's just playing with a winger on attack. And see how that goes. You know what? I wonder if he can be a wide target man, being as he's a target man. Let's try it. There is nothing to lose in respect to that, because, I mean, oh my. He's not going very well anyway, is he? Mind you, Roy Kjell's not having a good game either. And neither Strandberg, unfortunately. Although, I know see Halstead's not doing awfully, but Tranberg is going to make way for Austin. Now we've got a combined centre-half speed of... what? 11? Anyway. Got to do what you got to do, unfortunately. This is one of the things that's going to be looked at during pre-season. How's Paramashvili doing? You see, he's having a good game. He's doing well, so I'm not going to replace him at the moment. And Iembe. Got nobody who can play in there for you, mate. I could bring on Emil Kalsas and just see what happens. Let's just try that. At this point, we're 1-0 down, and obviously we're not playing fantastically, and I'm just trying to replace the players who are struggling the most. As much as I can. That's my 3 subs, though, now, isn't it? I'd like to bring Brink in there, because Brink scores goals, albeit more often than not as a Mazzala. Yeah, he's had 8 goals this season. I'm going to leave Paranashvili on at the moment and get on to the second half. Let's get creative. Come on, Esbjerg. I'm not going to go attacking. Let's keep it attacking because we're pushing forward. 8 shots, 4 on target. Can we demand more? Let's demand more. Come on, boys. There we go. I wonder if there's anything in the analysis I can actually affect. I know that Yakovenko's not liking where he's playing, so that is what it is. Throw in. Lauridsen finds Dowda. Lauridsen with the cross. Cleared. Kauko. Sorensen. Ball out wide. Kalsas. Kauko with a long one, but it gets tipped over. Oh, no, it wasn't tipped over. It just went over. That was good, though. That was a good effort. Come on, boys. Let's show some passion. I've had 10 shots, 4 on target. Let's go back to cautious again because we're getting pressed hard. Get creative. Come on. Højbjerg's frustrated. Well, that's your full... Wasn't paying attention to the time. That's full time. Esbjerg 0. FC Midtjylland 1. You know what? I'm not too disappointed with that result. Yes, we didn't get any points and we probably deserved better. But again, it shows that I can both create opportunities and defend reasonably well, even against the top teams with that formation. So, and like I say, there's 1 or 2 players who aren't quite familiar with it just yet. But yeah, Joni Korko, he had a really good effort there. Really good effort. That was the closest we got, I think, in terms of effort. Oh yeah, long shots 6. There's a reason why he doesn't normally shoot from there. Anyway. Yeah, not bad. Poor old Yakovenko didn't like being out on right wing, but there's not a lot you can do, really. All I got to be concerned about now is how bad the injury is for Pavader, because obviously he's been pretty solid out there for us. To the dressing room. It was disappointing. I'm just going to say, yeah, you seemed happy with that. Again, I'm slightly surprised because, like I say, we didn't do bad. We only lost 1-0 against the second place team. having just beaten the top team. It's, you know, we played well enough. We kept them out as much as we could, and we had an equally good attacking, you know, record. So I shouldn't be that upset, but everybody's saying they played rubbish, which means we maybe should have won that. But anyway, ramble. Let's come back for a final review. We are now down to 9th, but we're on 17 points, so we're still alright. I'm not overly concerned. SC Copenhagen, they got a win. Midtjylland got a win, so Midtjylland aren't top. They're still 3 points behind Copenhagen, so that's fine for them. In terms of our upcoming fixtures, we do have a cup game now against Avarta. Avarta, of course, are 7th in the 2nd division, preliminary phase group 1, so I'm kind of hopeful we'll roll over them as we did against Frem. And I say roll over, we made it a tough game with only a 1-0 and a missed penalty. But as you can see from the match stats, Frem really tried hard to take us down. So I am expecting the same for Avarta, but of course this is the first time that I'll have been playing with the new tactics. So we'll see if that actually makes a difference. Beyond that, we're back in the league again in November, and I will be back for a game then. I haven't decided which one yet. Might be nice to be the AC Horsens game, which is only in 2 games' time, which is probably a bit soon. So I might even leave it till later in the month. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up and, you know, stuff for future coming videos and whatnot. Thank you very much for watching.